Back in the Emperor's office, Yoda confronted Palpatine. When Yoda was throwing down with Palpatine, they started off with fighting in the Force. Yoda easily disintegrated Force lightning. The Force shows that it can manipulate matter by rubbing air molecules together to create fire. They can also reorganize the shape of molecules, such as turning concrete flat floors into spikes or into dust by just a matter of seconds. The two reached a stalemate. Palpatine noted that Yoda has been weakened after the Jedi Purge. Obi-Wan and Vader continued to duel. All the dialogue was emotional versus irrational.
I can help you! It's too late for that. You're too late. You only want to help yourself. You know that's not true!
Obi-Wan told Vader that Anakin is not all lost and Anakin will return. He had foreseen it. Vader replied that he is born of the dark side, therefore he is destined to bring darkness to the Force to fulfill his destiny. Vader said if Obi-Wan kills him, Padme will die along with him. So Vader said if Obi-Wan treasured Padme's life, he should let Vader kill him. Back in the Senate, Palpatine finally caught Yoda off guard. He shot Yoda with Crimson Lightning, like what he had done to Mace Windu, and defeated him by nearly evaporating. The energy was so powerful, the two masters were thrown off their feet. Yoda was able to escape and was rescued by Organa. He was trying to use the Force to mend his wounds. His bone structure was shifting back to place and he was having difficulty in breathing. Yoda was starting to crumble, like Mace, but he was strong in the Force to hold himself together. In the final moments of the confrontation, Obi-Wan said the way being born is unimportant, but it is how he lived life matters more significantly. Vader puts his lightsaber on lock, it sliced his shoulder, Vader force jumped and Obi-Wan swung wildly in a circle, which sliced off all of Vader's limbs coincidentally. Vader landed on the lava bed. While Vader was being burnt to death, Obi-Wan feels the life energy of Vader slipping. Obi-Wan was worried about what Vader said. If anything happened to him, something equivalently bad will happen to Padme as well. Vader used his last breath to use the aging technique he had on Newt Gunray before passing out. Obi-Wan aged immensely, but Vader's energy was drained out from the fight, so Obi-Wan only aged a decade, not his entire lifespan. Obi-Wan rushed back onto the ship. Padme was somehow dying. What Vader said was right. Vader's Sith alchemy was draining her soul and life force. Obi-Wan brought Padme to the nearest medical facility in the Outer Rim and told Organa his destination. Back on Naboo, Palpatine arrived to rescue Vader, but Vader was just a charred corpse. The commander declared that he is medically dead, but Palpatine still told them to carry the body back to Coruscant. Yoda, Organa, and Obi-Wan rendezvoused at Palas Massa. Yoda meditated and used the Force to continue to heal his body. His body stopped crumbling. He's able to repair his body and prevented himself from evaporating momentarily by cancelling out the damaging powers of Palpatine. The computer gave Padme an ultrasound scan. She was carrying twin zygotes.
Medically, she's completely healthy. For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her.
She's dying.
We don't know why.
As Obi-Wan had promised Anakin, Obi-Wan sacrificed a lot of his life force to rescue Padme. He restored Padme back to life, and that technique aged him a lot. He started having grey sideburns, which explained why Obi-Wan actually aged for 40 years between the prequels and the original trilogy, which was just around 18 years. Fortunately, this light energy pushed Vader's soul implantation out of her. However, the healing process altered her appearance, changing her from a brunette into an albino with violet eyes and white hair, which shows the dark side can damage her soul and body. Obi-Wan can only sense a weak presence of Padme. Back on Coruscant's rehabilitation center, the corpse of Vader finally woke up. Obi-Wan had used his own life force on Padme, which indirectly ripped Vader's soul out of her, wandering through the Force. At the same time, Palpatine retrieved Vader's soul from the Force and placed it back in Vader. Vader's Sith alchemy actually saved himself, but Palpatine stated that Vader's resurrected soul was too weak to be transferred from his old body to a new cloned one. If Vader was transferred to a clone's body in Boba's Voy, his clone would be a useless Sith Lord, since Force-sensitive beings require feelings to empower them. Otherwise, the cloned Vader will just be a different person. When Vader woke up, he was much weaker, but he proudly declared he is strong in the dark side to his master, and he had taken Obi-Wan down with him. But using the Force again, he felt that Obi-Wan was still alive in the Force, which angered him. When Obi-Wan and Palpatine had stepped in to save Padme and Vader respectively, the Vader Sith alchemy was cancelled out. So even when Padme died in the future while raising Leia, Vader won't be affected. Back in the medical facility, Padme's will and mind was killed. She had turned simple. She won't live long because Vader's drain on her life had led her into a coma or vegetable state. She can deliver successfully, but will not be able to take care of the twins by herself. Yoda, now fully healed, and Obi-Wan now looking almost like Alec Guinness. The two and Bail Organa had a conference about the custody of the twins. Bail Organa volunteered to take care of Padme. His royal staff can take care of her. Yoda said the two children must be separated after they are born. Obi-Wan suggested that one child should be brought to be raised by Anakin's distant cousin Tatooine to complete his promise, and it's the best place to hide from Vader. Vader virtually knew nothing about Tatooine except Anakin was born there. Obi-Wan will travel there to watch over it, but first he will personally travel to Tatooine to talk to Owen and Beru Lars to make sure they are good enough to look after the unborn child. At the end of the movie, Padme had turned into a mute, quiet woman who doesn't seem to know what was in her surroundings. Her mind was damaged by Vader. Yoda also felt Vader's presence had returned and they should be patient. Obi-Wan apologized to Yoda about his arrogance. If he was by Yoda's side, their predicament would never have happened. Yoda forgives Obi-Wan and told him if he was by his side, Padme would have been tracked down by Vader and these Force-sensitive twins would be forced to join the dark side adept. What the Emperor did to him was not only physically crushing his body, but diminished his ability to use the Force as well. Yoda can never be able to use the Force in combat anymore. His wounds are permanent. He is consciously using the Force to shift his body back to place. Palpatine has placed a dark arts that will make his internal organs to shift out of place and eventually killing him, crumbling him into dust. Obi-Wan was also damaged by the Force because of his closest friend falling to the dark side and the death of many Jedi, but he was also damaged emotionally by the loss of Anakin. It will take nearly more than a decade to get those feelings over. However, Yoda said an old friend had returned, Qui-Gon. With Qui-Gon's guidance, they will be able to restore and rebuild their strength, the Jedi Order, and to defeat the evil Empire. Now Yoda and Obi-Wan are learning about getting an alternate energy of the Force. Obi-Wan will still need to take at least 2 or 3 decades to recover in order to be in the level of what he is now. Yoda and Obi-Wan also use the remnants of their energy to seal Padme's and Anakin's twins' presence, so no Force beings, especially the Sith, will never be able to detect them.
Obi-Wan was wise to hide her from me.
It will only be unsealed after one taps into the power of the Force. After a talk with R2 in the hallway, C-3PO was so excited when he realized Padme was pregnant, started to blabbering about telling stories about his mother and father. Organa overheard him.
Have the protocol droid's mind wiped.
What?
R2's memory was also wiped, but the 2 droids' memories were saved in another hard drive for historians in the future. The movie ended with Darth Vader overlooking the construction of the Death Star, and Padme, now fully pregnant, looking at the sunset, with Obi-Wan and Senator Organa standing behind her. Well, thanks for watching this. I'd like to give a shout out to all these wonderful people who took photos of their awesome collection of Star Wars figures, so I can use it to describe certain scenes in this video. Check out their accounts on DeviantArt on the links here. They are amazing people. This is the final installment and I hope you really enjoyed my idea. To be honest, I was actually reluctant to change Revenge of the Sith because I really liked this movie. It was one of my childhood favorites. Aside from the crappy romance dialogue and how idiotic the rest of the galaxy seems besides Palpatine was portrayed. I wish the movie was as good as the book, because the novelization of the film was fantastic. Hayden Christensen did a great job whenever he's just acting and miming, when he's not delivering clunky dialogues. Ewan McGregor's performance hits my emotional heartstrings, and Ian McDiarmid stole the show. I was not a fan of the Phase 2 armor at first. It took me a while to get used to it. I wish they had stuck with the Phase 1 armor because I thought it looked cooler. Since a lot of final installment of a trilogy these days end with 2 parts, Revenge of the Sith for my version will be in 2 movies instead of 1. Also, I might be making more How to Fix series in the future. If you like it, give the video a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more.